Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Mind, Body, and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of June 2019. This is a general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. I pre-shuffled your card already, but here we are. We start already with the Lovers. Wow. This started exactly the same with Aries, I think. What are the chances? Well, Cancer, I hope you are well. And yeah, check out also your, if for example, Cancer, if your sun sign is your sun sign, check out also what's your moon or rising videos or whatever it is strong in your chart. Here we are. Eight of Swords. Okay, so it's an interesting one. So we have the Lovers and the Eight of Swords. You know, the Lovers can, of course, refer to actual lovers and romantic love or love in general. But it can very much talk about if one is connected to oneself, really, like deep down. Anyway, let's see what else this is all about. The Emperor. Okay, and Five of Swords. Bottom of the deck, as your underlying energy, we have the Moon as your theme. Beautiful. All right. So what's happening here, Cancer? The Moon is your theme, right? And it's also your energy. The Moon is Cancer energy. And I hope you can see this. All right. I'm going to pull out some clarifiers as I speak. So, the Moon. It may be that you feel a bit confused in this period for some reason. But I don't know, given that this is your energy and it feels like I want to stay with that, maybe it's actually talking about connecting to your intuition more and being in your own element here. And to draw a parallel to what I just said earlier, it can also be being more comfortable with the sense of confusion and being more comfortable to walk in the dark. The Moon is an energy where one starts like investigating what's in the shadow. You see this little guy here comes out of the water, which is his element actually, and he's trying to be brave to pass over these howling wolves and dog and take down that road which leads God knows where. And there's a lot of fear coming out, but remember, the Moon is your energy, so I feel like you're able to navigate this. Or maybe you're actually making a, oh, there you go, King of Cups, water energy as well. Can embody your energy. Yeah, shadow work. Okay, let's just pull out the rest of the cards before we get deeper into this. All right. What else we have here for my dear Cancer? Ace of Pentacles. Nice. All right. Let's clarify the Emperor, please. Oh, that was fast. Queen of Swords. Let's clarify the Five of Swords, please. The Five of Swords, damn. With the Strength. Beautiful. And again, bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. Shadow work, indeed. Ooh la la. Alright, Cancer. Wow. Let's talk about this. So yeah, as I was saying with the moon, I think it has to do with facing one's fears and with doing shadow work. And what is shadow work if not looking into our own shadow, right? Looking into our patterns, looking into our behaviors, looking into our triggers. And that requires courage, that requires intuition, and that also requires a decision to be the observer and to drop any judgment in order to be able to see what's lying in the shadow. And Ten of Swords is the death of a pattern. It's the death of a defense mechanism that had been operating for a long time for you in the background, you know, automatic response of some sort. And that can only happen once you've been actually glimpsing it and observing it. So you looked into the shadow and you've seen this part of you that's been showing up automatically as a reaction to certain triggers. And the more you observe it, the more you see it, the more it becomes irrelevant because it becomes obsolete, right? And then you can drop it. So it's beautiful energy. It really is, Cancer. Good job there. And yeah, I feel like this particular pattern that you're working with and this shadow work that you're doing, it manifests mainly in relationships because of the Lovers showing up here with the King of Cups. So we're talking about your emotions, and we're talking about yeah, how do you show up in relationships, how in partnership mainly, but it can also be other kinds of relationships. We just pick the relationship that's more relevant to you at this point in time. It can be with a lover, a romantic relationship, but it can also be with somebody that you're really close to and you are engaged right now, like maybe a family member or a close friend or something of the sort. And I think that it's all about emotional maturity as well. Maturity, how to embody this King of Cups energy. Maybe you are embodying right now. Maybe you are in your best self emotionally, and you are able to uh, be a nurturing person in this relationship. Be the I think this is you. You know, the King of Cups. It's water energy, and you Cancer are the most nurturing of the signs. And seeing what's showing up afterwards, though, with the Eight of Swords, it may very well be that you've been too nurturing. You've been a little bit. You know, the King of Cups is the master of his suit, so I believe that he's very much able to take care of himself and his emotions. So it's very possible that either the other person is feeling like this, either you are trying to align with this side of yourself right now. You know, the Lovers is all about aligning mind and heart. And here seems that your mind, and this is pretty much where the pattern shows up and the triggering shows up, is a little bit trapped here. You can get a little bit trapped in your thoughts, or the other person can be a little bit trapped in their thoughts. And that can prevent a little bit this alignment. Or through aligning yourself, you may be starting seeing this wherever you start feeling stuck, whenever you start feeling, again in the context of relationships, whenever you feel abused, or whenever you feel like you're giving your power away, This is a little bit of like victim mentality, right? It's somebody who's um, has the possibility to take care of themselves and take care of their emotions and take care of everything else, but they choose not to because they're not used to it, and they're blindfolded, and they're but these binds are loose, and this person can literally use any of these swords here to cut themselves free, but it feels like the person is not aware that it's got this power. And it comes with the Ace of Pentacles, so I think awareness of this is gonna come with big rewards for you in your physical reality, in the way you show up in your physical world. And yeah, the Ace of Pentacles is it's an opportunity, it's a gift that comes into your world, and it's about a real change, applicable change in your everyday world. So connect to this King of Cups within yourself. Allow yourself to really align with the compassionate part of you, the part of you that's full of emotions, and have compassion first of all for this side of you, which's been a little bit trapped into some type of mentality. And through this compassion, through this alignment of the heart with the mind, you can get to this opportunity that shows up for you to I don't know, enter this promised garden of whatever you've been trying to manifest, you know. But you see, there's mountains down this gate, and those are challenges. So it's not as if you're taking this opportunity now, challenge ever comes to you. There's always going to be challenges, but challenges are meant to be overcome. And this is a safe space. This is your garden. It actually comes, it shows more as if you are already in the garden, and that's the outside world. I'm going to clarify this Eight of Swords with the Ace of Pentacles, please. So yeah, let's see what is this, what is the Eight of Swords here? The Ace of Pentacles. What is it that you're not seeing here? It's Page of Pentacles. Out of the Court, it's like pretty much the equivalent of the Ace of Pentacles, but it's like seeing a new seed of opportunity based on something that you've been working on already. It's quite a jump from the aces, you know, but it's the same thing. It's seeing something that and valuing something on your physical world that you haven't been probably seeing or valuing before. The Page of Pentacles is also a reminder to kind of go into your body and connect into your body, connect to the real world, connect to nature, connect to your emotions, you know, connect to your physical sensations in order to kind of allow the mind to relax. Don't keep the focus only on your thoughts that can tell you that you're stuck, and allow yourself to go into your body and feel. And the message is like the body is like so wise. This is where our inner wisdom is actually coming from, and the mind is just interpreting everything that comes from the body. So don't trust your mind all that much. Your mind can tell you that you're stuck. Your mind can tell you that you're a victim of a situation. You can never be a victim really unless you give your power away. Nobody can have power over you unless you allow them to have that power. So whatever happens in this relationship right now, whatever you need to have compassion for right now, come back to that place of compassion. First of all to yourself, and then to the other person that you are interacting with, because this is what is needed right now. And look, like, try to use your own emotions as a guide and less of your mind. This is a pattern probably that you used to, a place that you kind of used to go to, this like I can't place, or I don't know, or I'm stuck. So we have the opportunity here to allow that part of you to kind of like, let go of it. um and here, the center of your reading, you have the Emperor with the Queen of Swords. The Emperor is it's all about structure, right? Like he's and also it's about observing. A good emperor rules by understanding what the needs of the people are. It's not just about power and tyranny here. It's not about dominion. No, it's about being a good ruler. And the Queen of Swords is someone who's very much aware of everything, and she's a good communicator, and she's a good um she understands ideas clearly, and she communicates them. She comes up with new ideas all the time. She's also about boundaries, so maybe you're called upon to clarify your boundaries with the person that you're involved with here in this dynamics, and keep your inner structure. Understand, what is it that you need in order to be the king of your castle, and also um, what is it that the other person probably needs. Because if we treat the others as if we were to treat ourselves, it doesn't really work, because we can be inherently different. We can come from very different backgrounds, and what is nice for me can be like awful for you. What is mellow for me may be very intense to you, or the other way around. So try to observe a little bit, like what's the other into, what are their triggers, and don't just lock down into like, okay, I can't, they do stuff to me, I'm closing down. No, 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 just it's okay to put boundaries. It's okay to communicate your boundaries without like having to go into this place of I can't deal with this, but do this like uh, by being aware of the other person as well. The Queen of Swords tends to be a little bit, a bit of a rough communicator. Sometimes she can be a little bit too focused on communicating the truth and communicating those boundaries, but that can be rather intense or brusque, or she could be insensitive. So that's the shadow side of the Queen of Swords, but it doesn't necessarily need to mean that this is what you're doing. It's just a reminder that boundaries are a difficult one. We whenever somebody sets boundaries for themselves and they communicate that to us, we can always take it somewhat personally. We feel bad, or like, okay, did I do something to cross somebody else's boundaries? Maybe we feel some shame that maybe we didn't realize that those were the person's boundaries, or we feel hurt that, oh, I'm not allowed into that person's intimate space because I maybe do not require that kind of boundary. But this way, the Emperor is here, bring that awareness about what is it that you need, and what is it that the other person needs as well, and structure your time. Maybe the other person wants more spend more time with you, or maybe you want to spend more time with the other person. You guys got to communicate. This is not, we all have different ways of showing up in relationships, and some of us need more space than others, and the one that needs more space can be a little bit overwhelmed with all the attention and time that, and sometimes they don't even realize, like, oh my god, I just spent 1 week continuously with my partner, and I'm becoming edgy and I don't know why, and then I realize, oh, I need to take space. Queen of Swords is there to remind you to communicate this. And the other person could be, wait, why do you need space? I mean, like, are you rejecting me here? What's happening, and that's why it needs a structure. That's why the both people need to communicate where they at, how do they feel. It's all about feelings here. um, how do they think about certain situations, in order to bring clarity and not stay in this like dynamics of feeling stuck. It's structuring a little bit the time that you spend together. Okay, You need more space, I need less. Let's find the middle ground here. It's not just about accommodating one or the other. You see, you have this five of swords here, and the five of swords is about fights, about petty little fights, about little power games, and it comes with the strength. And yeah, in this case, I literally really like there's maybe power games having to do in this with this relationship and with this, you know, dynamics of feeling a little bit overpowered by the other person, or feeling the need to win over the other person. And one can believe that they that makes them powerful, or but there's not real power, you know. There's not real power. The real power comes literally from awareness and from love. Once I am able to relate from a place of love, once I am able to see beyond these shadows, beyond this um, automatic responses and programming, and see to the heart of the person, and when I am able to love that person, nevertheless, that's when I really have power. I have power over myself as well, because I don't feel triggered at every little shit the other person says or does, or I can start understanding and seeing the other person for what the other person is rather than for what I want them to be. So okay, say the other person wants more space, or it's a more structured person and they need to like really structure their day, and I'm a more chaotic type that I do stuff say spontaneously, and I do things on a whim and I change my mind all the time. So rather than feeling hurt by the other person's preferences or behavior or type, it's actually when I'm able to really align with the heart and tune into my emotions and tune into that place of love, I realize that that person is just that how they are. This is how they need to operate into the world in order to feel safe. And what I can do is like if they overdo it, and if they're into this space, I can help them come back. I can help them bring them back, because I understand where they're coming from. I understand they're coming from a place of fear. If they are like putting boundaries a little bit too roughly, it means that they're really coming from a place of fear, and it's really not that much about me. There's no reason for me to keep fighting and try to win over the other person. I need to connect to the heart, and I need to tame my own beast here. You know, the strength, it's all about having the knowledge, understanding how things work, and going inside and dealing with my wildest part, with my emotions, with my dark side, with my everything, with my shadow. Therefore, this pattern becomes irrelevant. This pattern of maybe reacting in certain ways and going into different places in my mind where I feel like I'm out of control, places where I feel powerless, and when I feel the need to win over someone else. At least with this particular person, I think this ends this month by your willingness to look at it, by your willingness to do the shadow work. And yeah, that's actually really great. Cancer, thank you for doing that work on behalf of your partner here. But also on the behalf of you know, the rest of the world, because if we all were to do more shadow work, and if we were or all were to pay more attention to our dark side, be more accepting and more compassionate with it, and then that would automatically allow me to be more compassionate with the other people around me, then we all kind of become more relaxed, and we can connect deeper from the heart. And that's simply spreads out this compassion around. It does not feed up into this fighty energy, but helps to bring real strength through owning our own emotions. So yeah, Cancer, thank you so much for being here. I hope you resonated with this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you here next time. Have a wonderful June.